Okay, so the first thing, how to open PyCharm, right? So a couple of members, I just come to know that a couple of members are facing some issue while they are using, they are installing the tools into the laptop. So I'll show you how to create what it is, open source thing, and then we can, open source environment. Then we can come to the regular classes there onwards. Right? So yeah, okay, Manohar, that's good. Let me go into. So meanwhile, from today onwards, whatever we are going to discuss, whatever we are going to practice, those all are available on uh, this this Git repository. This is public Git repository. You guys can directly access this Git repository through your web application. So you can see whatever we did, whatever the practices we did on that, and you can take the code base, you can practice on top of this. So I'm sharing it in our chat window, so you guys can keep this URL as well, right? So this is the first thing what I want to share with you. And the second thing, the recording videos. Uh, I have a small problem to share the videos, so I'm just doing editing on that. I mean, some kind of trimming will be happening on the videos. Once the trim process is done, from Monday onwards, you guys can able to get these all. So probably today's class onwards, I'll try to share the actual videos without trimming anything, right? Because we have all the process here, right? All the practical process here. So I'll share you the link on our WhatsApp group as well. Okay, let's go with our actual thing. So how to open project in PyCharm. So as I said yesterday, we have too many things, right? We have Python IDL, that's IDLE, and we have PyCharm, we have VS Code, we have any other, right? So which one is better? So the biggest suggested one is PyCharm because it is fully loaded with complete support, right? So if you guys having problem with PyCharm to install and play with that, so you guys can go with what it is, our VS Code as a hybrid IDE, right? Even though you have problem to install that VS Code as well, you guys directly go with Python idle, right? Even though you have problem to use Python idle, you can directly use Notepad or Notepad++ to write Python scripts. There's no limit, right? So anyone can be useful, but highly suggested it Python job because it is fully loaded IDE, right? So this is a launch screen of PyCharm. So here you can directly create a new project or open a new project. So we have yesterday's created project here, right? This is the one what we have created yesterday. If you want to know how to create a project, you can do it now again. Close the project. So now I have closed it. So I'm clicking on new project. So taking a fresh name. Sorry, Python trainings, right? So simply, so you can directly take this virtually and we don't change anything. That's a good one. So you can directly go with, don't take anything from global, what it is, global package suite. Just click on create, right? So as I said yesterday, it's a best practice to create a virtual environment for Python projects, right? So when you are working with two different, different projects, it's better to isolate the packages. It's better to maintain individual source base, individual package base, and then we can directly extract the package just details into a single file to deploy that Python into the server or anywhere wherever we want to deploy in production or a test or for UAT or anything, whatever, right? So that's the biggest advantage from this one. Now, right? So this is our Python. Just give me a second. Let me take this smaller. I have a big overlap here. Yep. Okay. So now we can see here the simple Python file name is py. So if I right click on this project, here it should be open in File Explorer, where it is. Reload from the disk now, open in Explorer, right? So if I hit this, it can directly take me into the project location. See, here is a complete project, whatever I have. This is a VENV. If I want to open this same environment in terminal, we can. Right, I have opened everything into the Python terminal, right? So if I want to run this Python file, we can simply use Python space main dot py. That's it, how to run the Python file. This is the way how we can run the Python file, right? Python script. It's a simple script, it doesn't have anything. That's why we are simply able to run from anywhere. So the same thing we can do here in this IDE internal terminal, right? Python space main dot py. Same thing, there is no difference in the output, even though we can run this file by clicking on this run button. The same output it came here, but the difference, see, it is showing in run window now, right? Earlier it is into this integrated terminal, right? So this is the way how to run our Python script. These are the different ways. Okay, so when you are into the interview, interviewer definitely ask you how many ways you had to run the Python script, right? We had, so at the time we have, I mean, it's mandatory to have the confidence to give the answer for this question. Now, before going into our project to start our actual process, we had to know how to activate that virtual env. See, in this command line, we are already into global space, right? It's a global space. We are not into the isolated environment. So how to activate that isolated environment? So simple thing, right? So if you guys are using Windows machine, you can directly go with this. If you guys are using other than Windows, you have to use source command before this, right? So if you guys are using other than Windows, you can type this source command and then remaining thing is same. Okay, so where I am, I'm into the Python things. So here dot slash virtual env slash bin yeah, it should be bin. No, it's lib. So for others it is bin, but for Windows it is lib. Probably. What happened to this? VNV. Oh, sorry, it's Windows backward slash VNV lib slash activate. Come on, what's the biggest thing for this? Side packages. Oh, sorry, it says not lib scripts. Windows has a problem. That's fine. So it's not lib, it's scripts. So inside this we have activate, right? So we had to run this activate, or else you can directly run this bat file when you are into the Windows. If you are into other than Windows, you can directly go with regular command source remaining thing, just dot venv slash bin slash activate. That's it, right? So I'm just taking this activate. See, you can see that venv in front of my regular path, right? So here also you can see the same in the terminal, in the integrated terminal. So both are same now, right? Now we can play with this virtual env other than the global environment. We can directly play with. So now we are able to activate everything, and we can play in that uh, screens right now. So what is here? Else things what we need to do. We have created the environment. We have activated the virtual environment, and we have run the first script. Right, done. Now, now the thing is the concepts of programming. So while we are doing the programming, we have different concepts, right? First concept is commenting. Okay, so while we are creating any kind of what it is, any kind of program or any kind of thing, we have to maintain comments in that code. How to maintain the code comments? So in Python, we have too many things for comments. So that the one is hash. Keeping hash is one way to keep single line comments. So when we keep the comment, that will not execute while you are executing the code. That only for reading purpose. Single line comment, right? There's nothing. So here is some small thing that doesn't matter. It's a light warning. It doesn't matter. The feature is coming from IDE. So when it come into the light yellow, I mean, it is in yellow color, that is warning. If this line is in green color, that means there is a typo. If that has a red color, that means you have some error there. You have to fix that error. So yellow and green will never stop you to execute the code, but red will stop you to execute the code. So, and then multi-line comment. You can use any of this. So 3 quotations or multi-line comments. Either you can use single quote or you can use double quote. It doesn't matter. These are multi-line comments. See, it will never stops me to go with, right? So you can use any of this. You can use single quote or you can use double quote. It will never block. So this is mandatory because when we are writing program, when we are writing any kind of logic, we have to comment that if you feel that there is a complexity to explain, there is a complexity to understood the program by seeing it. So it's a best practice at the case to keep the comments in the code, right? So this is another way. And now the thing, the coding is nothing but giving the instructions, but the way we are giving the code is different. The instructions might be two types, either calling the existed functionality or give the standard instruction, right? So what is that? So the simple thing, calling existed functionality. So we have that print, right? So this is nothing but existed print. This is nothing but built-in function. We call these functions are built-in functions. Existed functionality is nothing but built-in functions, right? We can say hello world. Nothing. I'm not saying anything. So here it has. So always good practice to keep one empty line at the end of the file. Okay. So see now, if I run this command now, there's no change, right? So it is simply printing everything to me. And these comments are not printing anymore, right? So this is the way. And we know how to comment now. So now we have to know how to code. Before going into the code, we have to know some standards. Okay, some best practices. Uh, there might be a complex way, but we have to keep the best practices with our code. Okay, so the first step for our learning is the first thing is variables and data types. Right, this is the first concept for any of the language. There's a first concept in core concepts. Okay, data types. That's good. Now, what are the different things in data types? So while we are going with this, each of the concept, I'll explain you what are the best practices to follow and how you have to maintain the things there, right? So don't worry about anything here. So now, data types. What are these data types? What is data and why it required the types and how we can come into the types. So whenever we are going with the data, data is nothing but values which are collected from the real-time world to keep for our future reference purpose, right? There's nothing but a data, which is a simple definition for data. At the time, uh, so when we are collecting the data, there are different types of values. What are those different types of values? We are collecting the data in number form, right? In image form, in a date form, in a time form, right? In a text form. There are too many, right? So the data might be individual, the data might be collection of sets. If you go to collect a single individual person record, that's isolated data, that's individual data. At the same time, if I want you to collect the complete family record, it's a collection of data for that family, right? If I want you to collect complete complete communities data or complete village data, right, or an apartment data, it's a multidimensional. Individual persons inside a family, inside a community, or inside a what it is, a colony or an apartment, whatnot, right? It's a multi-dimensional data. There are different dimensions. We are going to learn everything in this data types and the stuff, data structures. So for this data types, we are going to know the data types and how to deal with the data types. So when we are going into the data structures, there we are going to know about multi-dimensional data, right? Now, coming back to the data types. So here we have different kind of data types. What are those? So the first one is string. So string data, right? And the second one is int, integer data. And the third one is bool data, boolean data, right? So uh, the fourth one is float. The fifth one is double, right? So float and double are not single things. We can take this. Might be a problem, right? Yeah. So what are these? What are these different data types? So simply we can go with string first. String is nothing but collection of characters. Not only characters, collection of characters, numbers, and symbols, whatever it is, a combination of all together, right? That is nothing but a string. So let me show you the string, and we are going to play with the string functions. Don't worry, I might saying slowly uh, because majority of the people don't know the program from scratch level, so I'm starting from scratch level. So if you guys are feeling bored, just let me know. Editor and going into the font. I'm increasing the font size for your purpose. So I'm taking it 18. Okay. Uh, is this fine, Manohar?
Yeah, I think so.
right? So now the string is nothing but a text. Whatever we are going to place, that is a text. What is a variable then? Variable is nothing but a placeholder to keep the string. A variable is nothing but a placeholder to keep the data into the specific block. The blocks are playing with RAM. Be aware of that. The blocks are playing with RAM. These are not storing into the disk or anywhere. These variables can store the values into RAM, right? So while we are creating variable in Python, we don't have any specific syntax. You can directly give the Python name, a variable name in Python, and you can assign the value to that. So I'm going to create message variable, and you have to use equal to assign the value to the variable. Hello world, right? See, this is a complete string, right? No? So if you want to know what type of variable is this, how to get the value from this, you can directly use print, okay, message. That's it. It can print. And if you want to know what type of thing it is, you can print. You can use print to get any kind of information from the program to the human visible, human readable format, right? So these are nothing but we can say in programming that is speeches. Okay, program can speak to you by saying some message, by showing some message, right? It might be in visual form, it might be in audio form, okay, it might be in alert form. I mean to say some with buzzers like beep sound or some kind of error sound or some, what not. Can be simple way, right? If I want to know the type of variable, we can use anytime. It's not only now for any type of data. If you want to know what type of data it is, you can directly use type, right? Type is a built-in function. So we can simply use this. Remember this, once we did any change in the script file, we have to save that. Otherwise, the changes will not reflect, right? Whenever I run the script, it is saying that it is printing the hello world, whatever the message it contains inside, and it is also saying it is a string object, right? str object, right? So this is how we can get the type of the value whatever we are having inside a variable. Because by seeing the variable itself, we cannot say it is a string variable, it is um, a number variable or an integer variable, right? See, right now I have a variable with a string. If I want to change later, I can directly go and change this value dynamically. It will never restrict you to uh, change that same kind of data type. You can go with 25.5. Now I have updated with float. If I print this, now you can see the change here. It can simply say it is a float. See, first it has a value that is hello world, and it is saying that is a string. And again, I have changed it to 25.5 and it is a float now, right? So float is nothing but decimal value, which is come up with short decimals or nothing but float. Then what is a double? If it is having biggest tail, more than 6 digits, then we can treat that as a double. So double has a backlog uh, that might have lose some kind of value in the points when you have long tail. But float can give the accurate value while you are going with. That's why every time when you are dealing with mathematical operations, scientific operations, that's why they will strictly say you to keep the tail less than 66. Right, the decimal point should be less than 66. Right, this is about this is a basic thing about string, right? So now we know what is a string, right? How to play with string now. We have everything, how to play with this, how to convert the string into different kind of formats. So I'm going to comment this code, which is no more useful to me to execute. So I'll show you the debug as well once we are done with this one, right? I'm just skipping it. Now I'm going to play with print what it is message. I want this to be complete uppercase. What I have to do, I have to use a string function. See, each and every data type contains its own functionality to restructure the data, to reframe the data, right? Reframe the values, to play with the values directly. So you can go with what it is, uppercase dot upper. So it can convert everything into upper. So when I run this, you can see there's a hello world message actually, whatever I have kept, and this is uppercase conversion. What you can see here, right? So you have the same way what you can do to lowercase. And whenever you are using IDE, if you are not getting any IntelliSense, IntelliSense is the biggest support from IDEs. That's why highly suggested go with IntelliSense. So if once you press the dot, IntelliSense should appear. If it is not appearing for you, you can use control space, right? For Mac users, it is command space. Sorry, command space for Spotlight, right? It's a control shift space, I believe, right? I'm going to lower. Lower will help me to convert the string into the lower. See, here it converted into the upper, here it is converted into the lower, right? So if I want to uh, if I want to split this complete text with the help of some other character based on something, I can go with any of the character, or I can go with any of the thing, each letter also. Dot. See, here I'm not using anything. See, for each function, you can see there are some arguments to pass, right? So the string which treated as a delimiter. Delimiter is nothing but the placeholder to split the string, right? And max limit. So how many splits you want? You want only one split or more than one split? We can play with this multiple things. See, I'm going with, see here, I'm not passing anything. Here I'm passing uh, one placeholder, that is space. So in the next statement, I'm placing, I'm not placing anything, just nothing I'm placing here. Even though I haven't passed, I can say a simple thing that is called, what it is, uh, max splits. How many splits I want? I want only one split. That's it. So if I run this, you can see here, okay, it gone with, if I'm not passing anything, what it should do, it have taken that space. If I spend also, if I given that the delimiter as empty also, it had taken that the space. Here also I am not passing anything. So see the difference now. I'm giving empty here. So empty in the sense with the delimiter. So I'm just removing this as well. I'm just passing in a simple manner, right? So there are two parameters only. When we are passing single parameter for multiple parameters at a time, it requires me to pass the complete information, the separator, the delimiter, whatever it is, and whatnot, max split, whatever I'm passing, I had to specifically give. If I'm giving all in places, it is not required to keep the argument names, right? Just play with this string. See now, when I hit here, hit this, there, what it is saying, Mm, empty separator. So it is saying there is, you have given empty separator, that might not work. So it has to split, but somehow it is not splitting. Empty separator should work. Oh, it's a 3.9, right? We are using 3.9. Till 3.6, it will work. 3.9 onwards, it will not, because the string itself treated as a character series, right? So that's the problem. That's my bad. That's my bad. That's my bad. I'm sorry. Hello world. It is it is beautiful. Come on, why this typo? Right. So now we can see max split is nothing but 1. See here, if I am not passing anything, it splits a complete text based on the white space, based on the spaces, right? So when I use the next thing, I mean to say space separator also did the same. There is no difference, right? But when I have passed max split, what it did, it only splits one time, not with other. You can see hello has a first placeholder, and then it's splitted here and keeps the remaining as it is. So this will helps a lot while we are transforming the data, while we are extracting data from the text, right? This is the biggest place, game changer, right? So these are the major string functions what we can use. So there are additional string functions, what it is. So as I said, till 3.6 we have something. 3.7 onwards, that was dropped because it became as a series, right? So how to do that? If I want to get a part of the string, how can I see? One more just heads up here. I have created one variable and I'm using that variable everywhere. I'm not changing the value inside this message until unless we until unless we have reassigned the value to the specific variable. It will never change its native value, right? So now we are going to play with additional additional functionalities which are on top of the string. Okay, so I want to print a specific area of the string. Okay, while I'm printing it, right? So message. So if I want to print which character I want to print, see, I'm going to take 0. What it will print? See the last one, right? H. If I want to keep any label for this, I can pass this one as. In this way, first carry the message, right? I can simply pass in this way. This is nothing but a simple, what it is called, concatenation of simple strings. Altogether, it can print now. See the last one, right? It is a H. If I want to get a second item, I can give 1, run. See, it has printed, right? It is E. That is nothing but this one. How come it is 0? It is first element, right? First item, first character. Then how come it is a zeroth one? It come as a 0 because in the series the number starts with 0. That is nothing but index. We can say that is index. You guys had to be remember these all terminologies, right? It is index. Interviewer definitely uh, ask a question about the indexing. Okay, so it is a biggest thing. Index will play key role in any of the program, any of the with any of the data type, right? So this is an index. So index will starts from 0 to n minus 1. N is nothing but total length of the string minus 1. Why I'm saying minus 1? So because it starts from the 0. If it is a 10, the end should be 9, right? That's why n, if the length is 10, then n become 10, right? How to know the length? Simply we can, I forgot to say this again.
Length of the
Yes, here it is. I can place that here because here only we are taking that type, right? Print. So length of the string, right? Comma. So you can simply use len function, len of the variable. So you can get this, right? So I'm going to place this, the placeholders before everything. So it will easy to you to understood while it is printing on, right? So now it is type. So it is going to be data type, right? And then to upper, we can say uppercase, right? So I need the same thing, right? I'm simply going with to lowercase, right? Um, Simple split, right? And then split with delimiter, split with white space, right? And then the single split. String has a biggest feature to hold any kind of value, right? That's why it has too many functions, too many data transformation functions with the string data type. So it's better to know everything, right? So if I run this, you can see all the stuff now. The length is 29 of this complete string. So now if I ask you to tell this the last item, last character index, that is 29 minus 1, 28, because starts from 0. When we are taking the length, it starts from 1, 1, 2, 3, like that, right? So when it come into the index manner, it will start from 0. That's why the last one is n minus 1, right? So this one, see, when I said to print 1, it is saying n here, sorry, e here, right? So it is not a first char. Uh, so char at one index, right? So now if I want to get something better than this, if I want to get a specific string from somewhere to somewhere, how can, how to get the string within a range? String in the range. Range is already there, sorry, right? So I can start where to start and where to end, right? So I'm going to take from second index onward till 5 letters, right? Let's see what will happen. LLO, what happened? Why it is not getting the 5 letters? Why it is only getting three? Because it has a limitation that, so it starts from H, right? So what is a fifth position? O has a fifth position, right? That's why it is not getting. In terms of index, we can say n minus 1. So whenever we are saying till 5, right? Whenever we are saying till 5, that means it can print before that the index. It will not print that index. Here I am saying that fifth item, right? So fifth item is nothing but minus 1 is nothing but 4, right? That's why it is printing till here only. That's a simple concept. So there might be confusing to you. So to remember this, you can keep, so the index to start, the number, character number to stop, two combination, index to start, character number to stop, right? That's how we can treat with. If you see this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So when it is an index, it is fourth element. So n minus 1, we said till. In a simple manner, what to remember, how to remember, the number, I mean, nth character, nth number. So that is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We said O, I mean, here O is the fifth one. That's why it stops to print, right? Yeah, this is one. Now, if I want you to print in a reverse manner, okay, if I want you to print the string in a reverse manner, how to print, right? Going to take minus 1. I'm sorry, here it is not going. Minus 1 till end. Simple, right? So reverse string. This might be here. Let's see. So it has started from minus 1, but it is not printing anything. The reason, with Python 3.9, right? There is a specific indexing mechanism, right? 3 points till 3.6, the indexing mechanism will work with minus 1 colon. But 3.9 onwards, you had to go with what you had to do. You had to give the complete series, how we had to play, what we had to do, what we had to give, everything we had to pass. Right? That's why it is very specific. So I can say minus 1 till 10, how many I want. See, reverse string is empty. Why? Why it is empty? We are going to pick the 10 numbers with minus 1. Does it work? No. The reason, because we are going to pick this. This is a small confusion manner. While practicing, we can get everything easily, right? It's a bit confusing. Don't confuse anything. If you feel it is confusing you, let me know. I'll teach you in a different manner to you, right? So if I print in this way, what it did, right? It has started taking the value from 10 and printed till minus 1, right? So that's the biggest confusing manner with it. I can take minus 10 till end. See what will happen here. So it has taken in a reverse manner, but it is not reversing the string. right? So if you change this placeholder, what will happen? Let's see. I'm playing with it because you have to know what is the main importance of this placeholders. So when we are giving the placeholders, it is nothing but start colon, right, length. So when we are taking this as a additional manner, so that can go with direction as well, right? If you change into the negative, the direction will change, right? That is the biggest thing. You can try to print it. You can try to get anything from the reverse order, right? Everything will work.
Can we give -1 to -10?
Yeah, that will work. See, everything in a reverse manner now. You have nothing here to print. Exactly, I believe. If I remove this, it can print. There is a small error in this. That's why it is not printing anything, right? Uh, let's remove this. Probably it is a problem with Python environment. You can see the last element. -1 is the last element. -10 is nothing but 10 characters from last. So if I change this placeholder, it can print in a different order. See, very starting point onwards till the 10th character place, right? If I give -10, it definitely confused to print something because there's no such kind of thing to print here. That's why when the position came to -10 to -10, there's no identification. It might be collide. The collision state will not print anything, right? So that's a biggest breakpoint. So when we are trying to reverse the string, we have to play what it is. We have to play key what it is. Key indexing should be mandate, right? Just keep it in a comment so that will confuse you much more, right? So it should reverse actually, but the collision was happened. That's why it is not printing anything now. So I just keep till here. Now the biggest thing, breakpoints, debugging, how to debug the code. We kept some of the instructions. We kept
Harish,
some of the
sorry,
functions.
Harish.
Yeah, Manohar.
So I want to reverse entire line, like hello world, it is beautiful, right? I want to reverse entire line.
Yeah, yeah,
How to do that? And one more thing, like I want to find some word, like world is there. Like I want to check whether world is there or not in the
yeah. I'll tell you those are
variable.
those all I will tell you
Okay.
because those are going with deep level indexings and deep level findings, right? That's why I haven't said anything.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the one. So once we are aware of the debug, then we'll go with that one
Okay.
because it is reaching 8:30, right? That's why. So now, how to debug this code? So with a modern IDEs, the debugger will work. How to know everything, right? If I keep a breakpoint here, this red mark is nothing but breakpoint, right? Or if I keep a breakpoint here, or if I keep breakpoint both places, it will come there. But only the thing, you have to click on this debug, right? You can see now we are coming into the debug mode. Here we have the watch window as well, right? This watcher will take the instruction what is going to execute, and it will show everything before this. The variables, whatever before this line, or only one, only one variable we have, that is message. The message we have that string here, right? There's a thing. So when we are trying to execute this, here we have the controls, what to do. So it can take you to step over. It will skip this line. It will take you to step in, right? It will take you to uh, complete. If it is a library, it can skip. If it is your code, it can take into. Those kind of ones. So it can take you to step out. It can take you out of the line and go forward, right? We'll take the step into because we have to check line by line, right? Now it has executed and it has printed the stuff here in the run, right? So it haven't print anything, just it done here because it has the breakpoint one more breakpoint here. So when we go into the debug tab here, again, there is a big breakpoint which can keeps here. See, it continues. If I have the breakpoint or not, it continues debugging because we haven't say continue the run. We say next line, go into the next line. So that's how it will do everything, right? If you see here the console, whatever we have executed, that was printed here. See, again, I'm saying split was happen, right? And whatever the things we are going with, it will. So if you want to go completely, you can say run, either a step over or you can directly click on run. So stop and rerun if you can, or you can do here as well. Remove program and restart. Everything will be the same. Whatever you have here, all are here. See, it is going right. So just play with these all. So tomorrow we are going to take the string operation, other level string operations. Find the position of the specific string, replace the specific match case, right? The manner how we can reverse the complete string. Instead of taking this kind of negative directions, we can use some other mechanism to reverse the string, right? So right now we are using, instead of these positive messages, we are using negatives, right? There is a separate mechanism to follow. We are going to do that as well. And we are going to, what it is, extract the values, specific values from specific positions. That is nothing but regular expression, which we are going to apply on the strings specifically, right? We are going to deal with these all and going to know other three data types, right? String is only the biggest data type. Remaining all are small things, right? So till here, do you have any doubts while we are operating on the string or anything?
Hi Harish. So is there a way to execute a part of the code?
No, there is no way to execute a part of the code. You have to, as it is a scripting language, as it is an interpreted language, it will only execute the part. Only execute the complete. If you want to execute the part of the code, you have to comment before and after the part. And you have to be aware if that part has any dependencies, you are not supposed to comment. Otherwise, it will rise the bug.
Okay.
Anything else?
And data types, right? Date data type is there?
Date data type is also there. That's why we are going to play with these 4 standard data types first.
Okay.
Once we are familiar with these 4, then we are going to additional data types. Date and time data type is a additional featured data type, right?
Okay.
So as simply we can say primitive data types, non-primitive data types. Primitive data types are nothing but a standard values which are keeping the standard values, right? Non-primitive data types uh, which are not actually the existed stuff, which are depending on the primitive data types to keep the values in it. Okay, at the state where we are going to know about this primitive data types and non-primitive data types, we are going to know all the different things. So before going into that level, we have to be aware of these 4 standard data types first. That's why I have taken only 4 initially. First string will completely take 1.5 class, and remaining 3 will take 1 class.
Okay.
Right? Anything else?
Yeah, why are we activating virtual environment in command prompt?
Because to run as it is, so as of now we don't have any dependencies from that environment to environment, right? So it is not required to activate. But if you have dependencies in this package, right, in this project, just like if you are working with Django, right, or if you are working for ML project, machine learning project, or if you are going to work for any automation project. So those 3 are different environments, but you have to work on the same machine for each of the project. At the time, all the packages and all the dependencies are different. We are not supposed to install all the packages into the global. If you install all the things into the global, the system might be confused while you are exporting the dependencies to give back to the deployment. So to avoid this confusion, we have to create environment. And while we are creating environment, while we are installing the packages, those packages are only installed into the specific environment. So in that case, if you're not activating your virtual env, those packages are not available because you are into the global space, right?
Okay.
To avoid this, we have to create and we have to activate the virtual env. This is the best practice. That's why I have said early point only, because it become as a habit to you to create an environment, work with the environment, not with the global, right?
Okay.
Anything else?
Harish, if I'm working in a like real time, one of the project, like where I will write the code in PyCharm only, or like do we have any specific client applications?
That is not actually what I can say. There is no restriction actually. So wherever you are familiar, you can write the code. If you are familiar with PyCharm, you can write. If you are familiar with Jupyter Notebook, you can write, right? If you are familiar with any of the other IDEs, you can write. So if we compare in this case, we are writing core Python. So there is nothing to be write in a specific tool, write in other blocks. If you are going with what it is, Lambda functions in a cloud, so there is a separate IDE for Lambda functions, which provided by the cloud services itself. You can directly write the code there. It is not a matter. If we come into the Databricks, we have notebooks to write. Notebook is nothing but integrated code editor. Just like an IDE, what we are using in our machine, it's an integrated code editor there. If we are using Anaconda, Anaconda has its own integrated code editor, just like Jupyter. Similar notebook mechanism is also there in the Jupyter. Whatever we are using in Databricks, the same thing will be here.
Okay.
Right?
So wherever like we can code, but the like we have to follow the same process, right?
Yes, we have to follow the same process.
Got it.
Process will never change, but interface might be changed where you are writing the code. Okay. Additional data types, what we are going to know is date. The sixth one is time, which can directly play with time, right? So there is a combined data type called date time, complete timestamp mechanism. Right? Once we are ready with this, right? Once we are ready with this, we are going to take additional data types. I mean to say extended data types, we can say. Those are nothing but list. So I'm not giving any numbering here. List, tuples, and sets, dictionaries, right? So these are the extended data types for us, which are going to use, which are going to use all these 7 data types, right? It's a collection of record. We can say, right, multidimensional or collection of records, right? This is a complete process what we are going to learn about the data types and variables. If anybody has any doubt about these all, what are the things we are going to learn, we can do this all, right? Anything else? Anybody has anything else? If all are good, you can go. Yeah, please.
Actually, like if environment where create one like a new code,
Mhm.
and if you want to use it in some other environment, can you use that?
You can copy that script file into the specific environment wherever you want to.
Yeah, just copy paste.
Yeah, there is no cross functioning, right? That's a common stuff. We're not supposed to copy that from here to there.
Uh,
It's a better practice to it's a better practice to keep all the script files which you are working in the specific project, to keep them into the same project environment.
Harish, I
Right.
have one more doubt.
Yeah.
So let us take like we are receiving one of the input file, CSV or text file or something, Parquet file, or
Yes.
so they like we have like different columns. I want to find each column data type.
Yeah.
Is there any way we can find data type for columns or like that?
There is a separate way to find all these, that we can go to deal with data frames,
Okay, fine. Yeah.
right? That will come in a later points, not now. Once we are okay with core Python and advanced Python, then we are going to play with the data frames and additional data transformation and data science supporting packages. Those are called pandas, right? Biggest data transformation for individual machine is panda.
Okay.
We are going to play with the pandas with the help of NumPy.
Okay.
Okay, so we can do that there.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, I can take this as no, and I will wrap this class. This script file will be available shortly in this Git repository. If you guys want, you can directly take it.
Okay. Can you please like name like the data also, like class 3 like that?
Yeah, definitely that will come. That will come. That's why I said in short time, I have to rename this everything and I have to place it over there.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. Just do some practice on these all commands. Otherwise, you will miss the concepts and it will make you complex while you are writing the code. If you want to get familiar with all this, you have to do some practice. At least regular practice you have to do. At least 30 minutes to 1 hour for minimal. When we are going into the additional level, advanced level, you have to extend your practice time till at least 2 hours. Right? Then you will become familiar with Python. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, good luck. So I forgot to say, if you guys have few minutes, I can say you to what it is to create a free environment. I mean to say what it is. It's a free Databricks, community Databricks. We can say that. I have overlap here. So nothing to do.
Harish, can we cover tomorrow? Like we have office at 9.
Yeah, I understood. Just I'll say you what it is, then we will go. Right? you can simply try Databricks Community Edition, right? This Databricks Community Edition, don't go with the ad. You can go with this community.cloud.databricks. By clicking on this, it can ask you to register. I have already registered. That's why it is pre-populating my details here. If you want to register, you can click on the sign up and you can create your own environment. Okay, make this ready for tomorrow. You can create your own and every stuff once you are ready. Tomorrow, early minutes, I'm going to explain you how to create a minimal notebook for your practicing purpose, not for production purpose, for your practicing purpose only, for initial state, right? Tomorrow, I'm going to explain you. All right, guys?
Yeah, Harish, it's fine.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good luck, guys. Do some
Okay.
practice. If you got any doubt, just ping me on the WhatsApp. I'll be there for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye-bye.